Hey guys, it's Danny the Medic. Today I'm over here at the Sahara, where it is about like midnight or something like that, and there ain't nothing to eat but this thing here. It's like a quick serve type of thing right across from the Starbucks, all right? Now I have $10 free, food credit. If they take it, I'll get something from here. Don't know what I'm gonna get though. Let's take a look at the selections. They definitely do have a lot of nice seating. So over here we got Cobb salad, Mediterranean salad. All right. Over here we got an empty thing. Wait, are these things clovers? I don't even know. It's a clover field. Okay, so over here we got sandwiches. We got like roast beef cheddar melt, Cuban panini, chicken pesto. We got over here a pepperoni pizza. This thing is a chicken Caesar salad. That's looking pretty good. They got a lot of chicken on there. All right. And over here we got a whole bunch of beverages. Look at that, guys, beverages. Maybe I can get some beverages. I'm not sure. And over here is a selection of mango sorbet, strawberry sorbet, coffee ice creams and things like that. Classic chocolate and vanilla. And this is the price list over here. You can check that out. All right. And we have over here pastries. I got croissant over here, muffins, donuts, as well as cookies over here. All right, and behind there we got coffee station and things that heat paninis and such, right? Ovens and panini press maybe. All right, let's get something to eat. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try the Cobb salad. It has a grilled chicken, bacon, hard-boiled egg, cherry tomatoes, red onions, pure pardue peppers, blue cheese dressing. All right, let's try it, guys. I have to pay $3 in tax.
So it's just $3.25.
$3.25, guys. Here we go.
To make a selection and then tap.
You know what? It doesn't make any sense, guys. The kiosk, right, got an option for tip for a retail purchase. You know, more on that when we get a seat. Is this Jack LaLanne? No, it's Clint Eastwood, back in the day. Let's go grab a seat, guys. All right, so I got my Cobb salad, and over here is this very nice eating area. So let's sit down over here and eat it. Makes sense, right? All right. All right, so here we go. Cobb salad. And we got a utensil set. Oh, I hate it when it comes to the pepper inside. The pepper chemicals, you know, get all over your utensils, and then you don't realize it, and the next thing you know, you touch your eyes and Yeah, I hate that, guys. So gotta be careful, be mindful. Don't touch stuff after touching this. As a matter of fact, what should I do? I don't know, I'll wipe the fork with the napkin. Come on, with this napkin. Fresh one. Hopefully you can get rid of some of the pepper chemicals. So wash my hands afterwards. All right, let's take a closer look at the Cobb salad. So it's not a big size. It's about the size of like maybe a Chipotle bowl, maybe. All right, so first let's try the chicken. The chicken got that institutional chicken taste. It crumbles in my mouth and then afterwards has a texture of a terry cloth towel. If you don't know what that is like, go to your bathroom, wet a terry cloth towel and go and then you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, comes with dressing. Let's open up the dressing here. Let's try the dressing here. The dressing looks a lot like yogurt. Oh, it's pretty nice tasting. I could dip my chicken wings in that thing. All right. So we obviously got chicken. We got lettuce. Let's try the lettuce, guys. The lettuce is not the best. It's a little bit old. It's midnight, guys. This thing might have been sitting there all day. You know, wherever they get it from, it's probably been there all day under refrigeration. Which is okay to eat, but it's not the fresh, crisp lettuce that, you know, vegans will appreciate. Unless vegans appreciate the old lettuce. To them, it's like dry aged steak, you know? We got some onions here. Try the onions. Acceptable. I mean, the lettuce is also acceptable. All right. So here we got bacon. How is this possible? The bacon itself also got somewhat of the terry cloth towel texture. All right, moving along. A cherry tomato with a little bit of blue cheese. Oh, tastes like gelato. Got that hint of a gelato type of flavor. I don't know where it would come from. We don't know these things, guys. We just don't know. All right, what else is there to try in this here Cobb salad? All right, what looks like peppers? Yeah, it's type of a sweet pepper. All right, now we got half a hard-boiled egg. It's acceptable. The egg yolk portion of the hard-boiled egg got a little bit of the terry cloth texture. You'll feel it in my mouth. Bizarre, guys. But anyway, let me tell you about Cobb salad. Like, Cobb salad to me is like the most unsalad-like salad. You know, when people say salad, you're thinking like, oh gosh, you know. Right? But this got like bacon and chicken and egg and stuff like that. So it's very unsalad-like. You know what I mean? It's like people will say chicken salad or pasta salad, you know? That the word salad has a connotation Although I think it means like a whole bunch of things mixed together. Like when they say the politicians give you word salad, it's just a whole mix of stuff, right? But anyway, yeah, it's all right, right? It's not bad. Gonna dip in some of this dressing here. I'll eat it. Like, I don't prefer salads, but there's nothing wrong with it, I don't do this all the time, and the sandwiches didn't look too good over there. Maybe I'll try the sandwiches next time. Now, I'll tell you, right? Whoever had been programming these point of sale machines went and put in tip option at almost everywhere you go. You put your card, the employees like, okay, make a selection please. Right? Sometimes it's like 10, 15, 20%. And it's a retail transaction. I remember what tipping is supposed to be because I'm from back then, right? I'll tell you. Tipping is only done for certain occupations, job titles, and not for others, right? What is known to the IRS as a tipped position, I believe, right? So, waitresses, bartenders, okay, tipped positions, meaning that in most places of the United States, they get a lower wage than everyone else, even lower than other people's minimum wage, and then it is expected by society to give them a tip, of which is their earnings, is their living wages. So waitresses, bartenders, tip position. What is not a tip position? The ladies working behind that thing. That's a cashier / whatever, right? That's not a tip position. I think bellhops, valets are tip positions. Plumbers, police officers, judges are not tip positions. All right? Astronauts are not tipped positions. But maitre d', maybe. But that's more like a bribe position. You slip them something to get the table you want. So that may or may not be, I don't know, I was never a maitre d'. But definitely medics are not a tip position, right? So you do not tip, people who are not in a tip position, right? Things like barbers, hairstylists, you can tip them, but there's a rule. If the person doing your hair or your whatever is the owner of the shop, you do not tip them. It would be considered an insult, right? Because they go, hey, what do you think I am? I own this place, So tip positions, you can check out Emily Post. Just type in Emily Post tipping in the internet, and you can read about how to tip. Okay, now that being said, you can always give money to anybody and everything, right? That would be considered a gift, right? Now, if I were to go there, order 15 carb salads, and I ask her to put each one separately in a different bag, and with utensils that are not mixed in with the pepper, and they do all that, that is a good job. That's going above and beyond. I appreciate them for doing that, and then I would give them a gift. Right? There's here's a couple of bucks, just to say thank you. That is a gift, guys. You can give gift to anybody. You can give a gift to the cop that pulled you over. Just be careful. They might mistaken that as a bribe, right? Now, for example, bribes. Hotel check-in. You go to the hotel check-in over there, right? And you just say you got 20 bucks. They do a good job, you give them the 20 bucks, that's a gift. Right? Some people call it a tip, but I call it a gift, right? Now, if you were to give them the 20 bucks beforehand, that's a bribe, right? Otherwise known here in Vegas as the front desk tip or the Vegas $20 trick, right? Because then you give them the 20 bucks, they'll upgrade you for free, right? And to you, the upgrade may be worth something. Strip view, bigger room, maybe even a suite. If you stay for one night, you can get a suite. If you stay multiple nights, nowadays, you can give them 20 per night. You know? Like 5 nights, slip them 100 to begin with and say, hi, wondering if there's any available suite upgrades, complimentary. You know, you say that. If you don't say that, they may give you strip view, demand the suite, right? So that would be a bribe, you know, because, you know, come on, you know what bribes are, right? Now, imagine a police officer pulls you over, right? Sir, license and registration. Here you go, officer. Write you a ticket. You were going 80 here on Spring Mountain, which is a 45. Here's your ticket. And you go, my golly, officer, this is a very nicely written ticket. Here, you know, I always take care of my cops. Here you go, right? And then you give them the tip. Is that still considered a bribe? Because if you go there in the beginning, pull you over, license and registration, and you put in like, you know, 20 bucks in between your license and your registration, you know, they're gonna be like, sir, you're under arrest. But you give it to them after, what they're gonna say? They can't say nothing. You go, but you're under arrest. Why? You're trying to bribe me. I already got the ticket. What bribe? You know? Yeah, it's a gift. You know? Then of course, they might be like, sir, I refuse. You know, the money. You know, okay, well, but you know, just want to let you know I appreciate Metro. You know, you guys keep all of us safe. And then you take your ticket and you thank him very much. You drive off. That cop's gonna feel guilty for the rest of the night. He was a nice guy. I gave him a $200 speeding ticket. Oh. Or maybe they don't care. We don't know the psychology of police officers nowadays. But one thing's for sure: no tipping at such a, you know, retail outlet. You don't tip at McDonald's. You don't tip at Starbucks. No, even though they got a box there. You could throw in your spare change you don't want, but that's just helping yourself out. You know, I don't want to carry these 4 pennies. Wham, put it in there, right? That's helping yourself out. That's not really a gift, nor a tip. You know, so a lot of young people nowadays, you know, freshly 18, got their first job, you know, working at a cafe. They probably have it under the impression that, you know, they're supposed to get tips. No. Tell the young people in your life that's not how tipping works. You know? That just ain't how it works. Tipping is for good service, right? Valet, you know, whatever the case may be. Waitresses, bartenders, cocktail lady at the casino. You know, those are tip positions. Just letting you know. And tipping, follow the Emily Post guide. Check it out. Google it. You know, Emily Post, Guide to American Etiquette. On, you know, a little page. You can look it up, how to tip. Well, thank you for watching Cobb salad video. 6.5, guys. Too much of this terry cloth towel mouthfeel. New Vegas video every Friday.